Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today I want to show you the differences between these two grinders. We have the DF64 Gen 2 and the Niche Zero. And I think many people are deciding between these two single dosing grinders, so I just had to make a video. I will talk about the differences not only in build quality and design, but also in grind speed, grind noise, so the volume, and the most important thing, the taste. So let's just jump right into it and I'll show you which of these two grinders I like more.
Starting with design and build quality, the Niche Zero has a sleek, compact design with an aluminum body and real wooden accents, giving it a modern aesthetic that fits seamlessly into any kitchen. Its build feels solid and premium, and I really like the design of it. The Niche Zero comes with a solid stainless steel 58mm dosing cup, which fits directly into most portafilters. On the other hand, the DF64 Gen 2 features a more industrial look with a robust metal construction. It's slightly larger, and with 6.8 kilograms, it's 2.7 kilograms heavier than the Niche, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it definitely adds to its stability, and you can definitely feel the weight difference. The DF64's design is functional, focusing on performance over aesthetics. The grinder also comes with a stainless steel 58mm dosing cup, but in matte black. Some people say that they don't like the look of the hopper, but honestly, I can't complain. For me, both grinders look good. The Niche Zero is equipped with 63mm conical burrs, while the DF64 Gen 2 features 64mm flat burrs. Both grinders have an anti-popcorning disc installed to prevent coffee beans from popcorning, and they also help to improve grind consistency. When using the DF64 Gen 2, I often start the grinder first, take off the wooden lid, fill the coffee beans into the grinder, and it immediately starts grinding. When using the Niche Zero, I also drop the beans into the grinder, but afterwards, you have to close the lid, because otherwise, it won't start. So it's not possible to do a hot start. This is a safety feature, but it didn't bother me at all. The Niche Zero uses a stepless grind adjustment collar located at the top. This design allows for infinite grind settings, enabling precise control over grind size. Whether you're switching between espresso and filter coffee, the adjustment is smooth and intuitive, making it easy to return to your preferred settings. The DF64 Gen 2 also uses a stepless grind adjustment collar, also providing references for different grind sizes. This helps in achieving repeatable results, especially when switching between brewing methods. So in terms of grind settings, both grinders offer the same features, but the big difference is the burrs that are being used. Now let's take a look at the grind speed and noise level. For this, I put 18 grams of coffee in both grinders, and I will start both of them at the same time to see which one grinds faster. I start by putting 18 grams of coffee into the Niche Zero, and then I do the same for the DF64 Gen 2. Perfect. Now I try to start both grinders at the same time, and go. As you can see, the DF64 Gen 2 grinds a lot faster. So if grind speed is important for you, the DF64 is definitely the better choice. For me, the Niche's grind speed was never an issue. However, the DF64's speed comes with increased noise levels, which might be a consideration for early morning brewers. I will show you the difference in noise now. I start with the Niche Zero. I measured around 72 decibels using the Niche Zero. Now it's time for the DF64 Gen 2. I hope that you could hear the difference. I measured around 85 decibels using the DF64, so that's a difference of around 13 decibels, and believe me, this thing is loud compared to the Niche Zero. Let's talk about grind quality. and of course, retention. I tested both grinders using the same method. I weighed out 18 grams of coffee, ground it, and then measured how much coffee came out. This helps us see how much retention each grinder has in real use. First up, the Niche Zero. I put exactly 18 grams into the dosing cup, dropped it into the grinder, and let it run. Once the grinding stopped, I weighed the output, and I got back exactly 17.9 to 18 grams. My scale can't really decide. That's basically zero retention. And this is one of the biggest pros of the Niche. No purging, no waste, just clean, consistent results every single time. Then I repeated the test with the DF64 Gen 2. Again, 18 grams in. Same beans, same scale. After grinding and using the bellows to push out anything left inside, I got back 17.9 grams. So, a retention of around 0.1 grams, which is still excellent, especially for a flat burr grinder. But it's worth noting that it does require that extra step of using the bellows to push everything out. So in terms of retention, the Niche Zero really lives up to its name: zero retention, no bellows needed. The DF64 Gen 2 is still great, especially when you use the bellows properly. Both grinders do a good job here, but if you're all about clean workflow, no leftovers, and no extra use of the bellows, the Niche still has the edge. To really put these grinders to the test, I will pull a shot of espresso with each, using the exact same beans, dose, and machine. I started with the Niche Zero. I weighed out 15 grams of coffee, ground it, and transferred it into the portafilter. Then I used my WDT tool to break up clumps and distribute the grounds evenly. After that, I tamp firmly and place a paper filter on top of the puck just to keep the shower screen clean. Then I lock in the portafilter and start the shot. Here's what the extraction looks like. Take a look at this beautiful double shot of espresso.
Now it's finally time for me to try it. It's very rich in body, it's sweet, almost syrupy, it's really good. Yeah, it's a very good espresso. I mean, we all know the grinder is not the only reason for a good espresso. You have to buy good coffee beans, but the Niche produces great espresso. That's a fact. Wow.
Now it's time for the DF64 Gen 2. Same routine. I weigh 15 grams of coffee beans, put them into the grinder, use my WDT tool, give it a good tamp, put a paper filter on top of the puck. I pulled the shot under identical conditions to keep the comparison fair. The extraction looks beautiful as well. This is what the espresso looks like.
Okay, now it's time for me to try the second espresso that I made with the DF64 Gen 2, and let's see how that goes. I tried to make these two cups of coffees exactly the same way. I tried to go with a 1:2 ratio. I used 15 grams of coffee in and 30 grams of coffee out in around 27 seconds. And what's really interesting is that both espressos taste different. The first one with the Niche was very syrupy, chocolatey, very rich in body, while the DF64's espresso feels lighter, it has more fruit, it has more clarity and brightness. I hope that makes sense to you, but it really is different. If I had to choose between these two espressos, I would go for the Niche because I prefer an espresso that is rich in body and chocolatey. And for me, the Niche does that perfectly. But if I wanted to try a more fruity espresso, I would definitely go for the DF64 because I feel like it brings out those flavors a little bit more. But they both taste really good, so it's not like this one is bad and this one is good. No, this one is more chocolatey, while this one is a little bit brighter and lighter and still very good. Don't get me wrong.
When it comes to cleaning, the Niche Zero is honestly one of the easiest grinders I've ever worked with. You just unscrew the top using the included tool, and you immediately get full access to the burrs and grind chamber. No screws, no panels, no weird tools needed. It takes less than 5 minutes to give everything a proper clean. The DF64 Gen 2 takes a little more effort. You do have to remove a couple of screws if you want to give it a proper clean. And it takes a few minutes longer to get to the burrs, but once it's open, you can clean everything pretty easily. I'd say it takes about 5 minutes longer to clean than the niche, so not a big deal, but worth mentioning. Also important, recalibrating the 0 point. After cleaning, it's a bit simpler on the niche to calibrate the burrs. So in terms of maintenance, both are easily manageable, but the niche definitely wins for speed and convenience. Now let's talk about price. And this is where things get interesting. The niche 0 retails for around €750, once you include import taxes and shipping from the UK. It's a premium product, and you definitely feel that in the user experience, but the price is up there. The DF64 Gen 2, on the other hand, is a lot more budget-friendly. It comes in at around €450, depending on where you buy it. That's a pretty significant difference, about €300 cheaper, which makes it a great option if you're looking for a great single dosing grinder without breaking the bank. Alright, let's break it all down with a pros and cons comparison. The Niche Zero's biggest strength is its simplicity. It's extremely user-friendly. You can go from unboxing to pulling great espresso shots in no time. The grind quality is excellent, the workflow is clean, and it's whisper quiet compared to most grinders in this class. It has near zero retention, which means no purging, no wasted coffee. The cleaning process is fast, intuitive, and takes literally a few minutes. On the downside, it's expensive, especially outside the UK, once you factor in shipping and import taxes. And if you love the clarity and brightness that flat burrs can offer, the niche's conical burrs lean more toward body and sweetness. The DF64 Gen 2 is a performance machine, and the value for money is kind of insane. You get 64mm flat burrs, a clean workflow with the bellow system, and great grind consistency, especially for filter coffee and high-clarity espresso. Thanks to its 64mm flat burrs, this grinder gives you room to easily upgrade your burrs to SSP burrs if you want to. Cleaning takes a bit longer, and the build isn't quite as refined as the niche, but it's built very solid. The main trade-off is that the DF64 is a bit louder and not quite as elegant in day-to-day use. Also, it's not quite zero retention, but it's close to. But at almost €300 less, that might be a compromise worth making for a lot of people. So, after using both grinders side by side, which one should you get? The truth is, there's no universal winner. It all depends on what you care most about in your coffee setup. If you want a grinder that's quiet, compact, and just works out of the box with no hassle, the Niche Zero is still an outstanding choice. It's expensive, but you feel the quality in every part of the experience. It's a very cool grinder that delivers great espresso every single day. But if your priority is value for money and you don't mind a bit of extra cleanup, then the DF64 Gen 2 is seriously hard to beat. For around €450, you're getting an awesome grinder. Personally, I think both are excellent, and I'd happily recommend either of them, depending on what kind of workflow and flavor profile you're after. Let me know in the comments which grinder you would pick. Or if you're using one of them already, tell me what you like about it. I'd love to read about it. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.